Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name's Greg and this is Puddle Walkers Outdoors.
Leaving all my worries, I prepare for something new.
Alright guys, so it has been about 4 weeks since my last video upload. It has been awful around here. It's been so cold. As you can see, we're here at the lower falls and the creek here has still got a great big sheet of ice on it. So a couple days ago, I actually found a creek where there was no ice on it anymore and I was able to get out and fish and found some success. So lately guys, in my videos, I've been really trying to add some value, trying to give some kind of a lesson, teach you guys something so you could take something from my videos. This video, I really didn't do anything special that I haven't been doing all winter. So in today's episode, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna talk about fishing line. Now I'm not gonna talk about what brand you should use, what size you should use, but how I save money with the line that I do use. Now I'm a low income family, so I don't have the option to just go out and buy some P-line or some Seaguar anytime I want. You know, my budget is so tight that that's not in the cards for me on most days. So what do? What I like to do, guys, is I actually fill my spool with about 8-pound line, about a quarter full of just some cheap mono to start it out. After that, I'll connect my braid and then I'll fill the rest of my spool up with braid and fish braid through most of the summer. I mainly do top water, so mono or fluoro doesn't really benefit me either way. So I prefer the braid overall. Now as the wintertime comes, it's when I start to switch over to mono. And what I'll do is, I got that braid on there already, I'll use that braid all the way up till it starts to get low, and then I'll pull some off, and then I will add the mono on. So you're looking at this spool, this reel, it actually has 3 lines on it. I've got an 8-pound on the bottom, I've got my 10-pound braid in the middle, and then I've got 4-pound mono right here on the top filled up that I use for the wintertime. Now why do I do that? Mostly it's just because to save money. So if you've filled up any reel before, you know that you only use so much of that spool before it becomes useless. You can't cast it anymore, you don't have enough line on there to really do anything, and you end up scrapping all that line on the back half of your reel and then putting all new line on again and doing the same thing. So by doing this right here, what I do is I actually just use up about as much line as I normally use over a couple trips. I do a lot of Ned rig dragging, and so my line takes a lot of damage. Through that damage, my line gets little nicks and tears and all this stuff, and so I lose line pretty quick. By only using so much line per time, I'm able to keep fresh line on my spool without actually re-spooling my whole reel. All right, guys, let's head back to my house real quick. I'm gonna show you guys how I tie that line on, and then we'll get on this fishing trip. All right, guys, see you soon. So here's the knot I'm gonna be tying, guys. This is a Alberto knot. And another reason why I like to do this with my line, not only to save money, is I oftentimes change species. So I may go from crappie to bluegill to bass, back and forth. And by adding just a little bit of mono on there like that, and the total amount I use is probably about 60 to 70 feet. I cast about 30, 40 feet, it seems, maybe a little further, I don't know. I fish small areas. But by doing this, I'm only changing 30 feet out at a time. A crappie fishing, I like to use between 4 to 2 pound. For creek smallmouth, I like to use 6 to 4 pound. So that's the main reason why, right? I can change out my leader line or change out the size of line that I want to use without re-spooling my whole pole. All right, let me show you how to tie this. I know this line is really hard to see, but I'm going to show you how I do this the best that I can. I don't really have good lighting. I don't really have any kind of string that's going to show up well. So what you want to do is you want to start with your mono or your fluoro. It's what I have here in my hand. You're going to fold this in half, give yourself a few inches, maybe about 4 or 5. And then you're going to create this little loop, just like that right there. Hope you guys can see that. Now you're going to take your braid. I've got some braid here in my hand. I know it's hard to see too. You want to take it inside that little loop you just made. Pull you quite a bit out, maybe about 7 or 8 inches. Now at this point, what you want to do is you want to wrap your braid around the mono. Now braid wraps a lot easier than the mono wraps around the braid. So that's why I do this first. You don't want to wrap them really tight together. You want to leave a little bit of space. It's kind of like a candy cane stripe. I go down about 10 times. Just like that right there. Now since it is braid, you can let go. It's not going to go anywhere. You're going to hold it like that, and now you want to turn this, and you want to go back the other way. And what you're trying to do here is you're trying to get your line to go in between the little grooves that you've created on your first wrap, in between the wraps. So you've got line touching the mono going down, and then you've got line touching the mono coming back up. This is kind of difficult to do while you're talking to someone. Just like that right there. We're coming back up to the top of it. I'm sure this was just god awful to watch, guys. I'm sorry. I can't see the camera, so I don't know what it's looking like. But anyways, when you get back to the top, you're gonna take your line and you're gonna go right back through that loop. Just like so. Now you should have a line that's twisted together, and you should have 2 little loops on each side of it. At this point, you're going to get the line wet, and then you're just going to snug it down. Pulling the tag ends against each other until it cinches. Just like that right there. At this point, we actually have our knot right there. We're going to cut off the tag end as close as we possibly can get to the knot without damaging it. And then we're going to cut the tag end off of the mono as close as we can. So I like to do is pull everything back. This is my tag end line right here in my hand. I'm going to take my scissors and I am going to cut that off there as soon as I find them. Jeez Louise. All right, here we are. So I pull back the main line, leave the tag line hanging out, take my scissors, and I'm going to cut it right at the top where they all come together. Just like that. That's the first side. Now we're going to do the same thing here. Again, pull everything down and back to where we just have our knot and our tag end exposed off the tip of our fingers. Take our scissors, cut it off. And that's us right there, guys. This is the knot I use. I just do this all the time. You see how small it is? That right there will fit through some pretty small eyes on a rod. As long as you cut your tag ends off really, really close, this also shouldn't hang up. So that's one thing you got to worry about. I talk about hanging up. So you leave this mono, say you leave a little bit of tag. When you're reeling in line, it's going to get caught up in that little tag line. So you want to make sure this is really clean on both sides. All right, guys, let's go fishing. All right, first fishing trip in months, guys, it feels like. It's been about 4 weeks. There we go. That's a good one. That's a good start for the morning right there. Easy there, buddy. Easy there, buddy. Come on, chill out, chill out. Good start. Got a little skin hook there on top of his mouth. There we go. That's a dandy. It's a nice, short and chunky. I don't know, maybe 15? Maybe about 15 incher. All right, let's get him back in the water, guys. See you later, buddy. Oh, about fell off the rock we're standing on here. That would have hurt just a little bit. There we go. That's a good one. Feels good anyways. What we got? Not bad. Got 12 incher here. It's actually the first one I've caught here this winter. I'll show you guys something. It's a little fish, but even the little guy's got something to tell you. You see how the inside of his mouth is all beat up red like that? That means he's feeding on the bottom heavily. So that tells me that I need to stay with the bottom lures. All right, buddy, we'll see you later. Well, let's whip one back out there. See if we can't find another one. I actually thought he was a lot bigger. He was fighting pretty hard down in there. This is looking different this year already. It's looking a lot more open. Last year, this place here was devastated by otters. I came back here and found about 5 or 6 smallmouth, 2 of them trophies dead, just the heads on top of the ice. Take it, fish. We have it? No, I think something was hitting that there on the shallow end. Got him. That's a good one. That's a real good one. It's the best one of the morning. That's a good looking fish right there. Yeah, good looking fish. Took a while to find him, didn't it? He's about to come off too. There we go. This is not the first time I've caught this fish. I'll show you guys a clip of this guy. See his tail missing and how it's starting to heel back? Man, that's a beauty right there though. I tell you what, that is absolutely gorgeous. Look, picked that tube right up. He was just nipping at it though. All right, let's get him off here. All right guys, that is 3 on the morning. That last one was really nice. So I actually caught that guy last year. I'm gonna show you guys a clip of it. Got him. That's a good one. Got me in the bushes. Yeah, that's a good one. It's missing half his tail. Poor guy. He's probably 14, 13 inches. Let's get him out of here. Pretty neat, huh, guys? So last time I caught him was in the spring. It was just before bed season. And he was that next hole up there. You see where it gets really thin? It opens up to another hole up there, and he was actually in that line right there, and I saw him, snuck up and caught him. But it's hard to not, recognize that tail. It's one of the things I look for, guys, when I catch a bass, or really any kind of fish that's, decent size. I try to look for kind of unique characteristics on him to see if I can catch him later. I got another fish in here. We call him Two-Face, but you guys have to wait for that guy. All right, let's get back to it. There we go. Found another one. Another little guy. And you know what? Looking at his mouth, I see no damage. So that tells me I should probably be using like a swim bait or something along those lines. They're probably chasing today and they're not really focusing too heavily on the bottom. Just that one was. All right guys, only that one good one back here and a little bitty guy. I had one rip the tail off of my Kitech, but that was it. Just like some little pecks. I was having a hard time determining if it was the rocks or if it was rock bass. So we're gonna head back and see what we can catch up towards the front. If I keep going back further here, that's normally where long distance wintering fish, they usually meet up there come spring, a little bit after the spawn. Once the bass are off the beds in here, back there, starts to get pretty loaded up. So I don't plan to go any further than this right here. Let's go ahead and make our way back, guys, and see if we can catch some giants. If you're watching this, I probably did. Let's see here. I'm gonna go back to the tube. I'm gonna try to throw a little brighter color. Got this brown. Let's go with this orange flaking, like a pumpkin.
Oh, you just fishing?
Yeah.
Oh. I wouldn't have expected anybody to be fishing out here at this time of day.
Oh, I've been hammering them.
Have you really?
Yeah. I bet you want to see my fishing license, don't you? Nah. Ah. So yeah, I be fishing and filming everything I do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's no getting away with anything with me.
Good deal. Well, man, I'm surprised you're having such good luck over here.
Oh, I usually do. Let me get my phone out. I'll show you some of these pictures of the ones I caught today.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorite creeks to go to. All right. The guy's working on wrapping up the day. See if we can't pull off a couple more catches. Oh, something hit that hook almost right away. Get off the briars. Got this briar bush. Got me stuck. Something took a shot at me through there, so we've got a fish over here. That's a snag. Oh, come on now. Come on, bro, I got a fish here. Don't do me like this. Don't do me like this. Oh, I was probably gonna catch one here too. Got a new log or something in the water there. Maybe that's what I ran into. Thinking I had a fish and really I caught this log. That's definitely new. Never. Something, what is it? Oh God. Kidding me. That's a coyote. What's the craziest thing you've ever caught before? That's messed up right there. hands down, craziest catch ever. Blech. Made me sick to my stomach. There. That was crazy. I was like, man, there's a new stick in the water. Well, guys, that's a wrap. One police officer and a coyote later, and I've had enough of the creek. Police officer was very friendly and nice. I like those kind of interactions with the police. And all you gotta do, guys, is be nice and polite to them. Most of the time, they just want to know what you're doing. That's all he wanted to know. He probably thought I was down underneath there smoking dope or something. It's one of the bad things here in Indiana. It's got meth heads and heroin addicts everywhere. So you never know if you see somebody up under a bridge exactly what they're doing. So you got to be a little careful around here. The coyote, though, that scared the tar out of me. I thought I had a log, and then I brought up the legs, and y'all seen me scream like a schoolgirl. I didn't know what it was going to do to me. It was dead already. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you on the next one.